Hey guys, this is Dr. Paul with Conscious Healing Solutions, and I'm here on Free Therapy Friday to talk to you about the idea of changing some of our thought distortions or our automatic thoughts that hold us back. Last week on Free Therapy Friday, we talked about that idea of being aware, of being conscious of our thoughts, of our feelings, of our actions, and really fully participating in our lives in order to develop that sense of awareness and consciousness. What comes with that sense of awareness and consciousness is the ability to recognize when certain things aren't working. I think I said last week is that when we're conscious of things, it forces us to take a look at things in our life that aren't quite working. So what I'm going to talk about specifically today is the thoughts in our lives that maybe aren't quite working for us or are holding us back. So I'm going to refer to those thoughts as thought distortions. Now, thought distortions doesn't mean that we're distorted. It means that our thoughts can be distorted, our ways of thinking. And oftentimes we are taught ways of thinking. We aren't born with thought distortions. We sort of develop them over the years. Now, the difficult news is that these can take time to change because usually they are so ingrained in us. The good news is because they're learned, we actually can learn new ways of doing them. So what I'm going to specifically talk to you guys about today is 3 different kinds of thought distortions and how you can begin to challenge those. So the first thought distortion I'm going to talk about are called shoulds. Now this is one of my go-tos. I should have done better at work today. I should be putting more time and effort into my job. Some other shoulds are, I should be further along in life today. I should call my family more. And all these different shoulds, what they do is they actually hold us back because when we say we should do something, the likelihood is that we haven't done it. And the other thing that comes with the shoulds is usually feelings of guilt or shame or not accomplishing enough. So if you find yourself saying should, I want you to replace the shoulds with I can or I want to, or can't or don't want to. So for example, I should be further along in my life at this point. I should have a better job. We can replace that with I want to have a better job and I can. And I don't yet, and I want to work towards that. When we replace the should with I can or I want to, it gives us more direction. It gives us a little bit more power over the situation. Another example is, I should call my mom more. We can replace that with I want to, and today I can't because I don't have the time, and I can do it tomorrow. Okay? It gives us, again, a little bit more sense of direction. So another thought distortion is called all or nothing thinking. Sometimes it's called polarized thinking or black and white thinking. And basically black and white thinking is using the word always or never. So I'm never going to be good at this. I'm always going to feel depressed. My relationships are never going to improve. We're never going to get along. The issue with the all or nothing thinking or the black and white thinking is that it takes out any space for the gray. It removes any sense of possibility that things can look different. So in order to challenge the all or nothing thinking, we have to work on terms like for now. Right now I feel. I don't feel like I'm going to get better yet. See, that softens the edges of the all or nothing thinking. Today I don't feel great, and tomorrow I might feel a little bit better. Okay? I'm always going to be depressed. For now I feel depressed, and I'm in therapy to work on that. So we're not trying to negate the thoughts that you're having. Again, we're trying to find a little space to soften the edges of those thoughts, because again, with all or nothing thinking, it really closes the door that things can be different. The other thought distortion that I want to talk to you guys about is, I call it fortune telling. Sometimes it's called assuming. It's when we basically decide we know the outcome of a situation before it even happens. So when I'm driving into work, I know this day is going to be bad. Well, the fact of the matter is I don't know that the day is going to be bad. I can fear it's going to be bad. I can feel like there are things that are going to be bad about the day. The fact of the matter is I don't know that the whole day is going to be bad. So I can challenge that by saying, I feel like parts of this day are going to be bad, and I don't know what my whole day is going to bring. The issue with fortune telling is it often leads us to avoid situations that actually could be really helpful to us. So for example, if I tell him how I feel, if I'm honest with him, he's going to get mad and he's going to break up with me. Well, we actually don't know that that's going to be an outcome. Again, we can fear it, but the fortune teller and the assuming holds us back from actually speaking up for what we need. So these thought distortions, again, they're often taught to us. We maybe hear them growing up. And what happens is our thought distortions become our automatic thoughts. And so what I want everyone to start to challenge is some of their automatic thoughts. I've talked about a couple today. I've talked about the shoulds. A lot of us do that. I've talked about the all or nothing or black and white thinking. Remember, that's when you might use terms like always or never. I've talked about fortune telling and trying to kind of assume the outcome. So, and you might have more that you notice. Different kinds of thought distortions can include the need to be perfect, telling yourself I must be perfect at this. Other thought distortions include taking one bad event that happened that day and generalizing it to the entire day. So now the whole day's bad. So what I want everyone to do is notice their thought patterns. Notice some times where your thoughts hold you back. Notice times where maybe your thought patterns contribute to more negative emotions. And what we're going to do next week is we're going to talk about this idea of changing also our negative emotional patterns. So today it was more noticing the thought patterns and sort of reprogramming those thoughts by challenging those thought distortions. And what we're going to talk about next week is noticing our emotional patterns, how we respond to our emotions, our go-to emotions, or maybe emotions that we avoid, and how to begin to kind of reprogram that and take a look at emotions as not necessarily good or bad, but that emotions are just that, they're emotions and they come and go. So I hope today was helpful for you guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to speaking with you next Friday. Take care.